Hey everybody. It is Tuesday. It's from the barracks or it's Thursday. Thursday. My settings are all screwed up. We're trying to check a couple of different things here. 1 second. There we go. Say something, Virtue.
What's up, Captain Tubbs?
All right, my sound is not coming where it needs to be. This is awesome. Yay!
What happens when we try to fix things the last minute?
Let's try it this.
We can all hear you, though.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Wow, my headset's not working.
Is your headset powered
Kinda
on?
love that.
Yep, it's on.
Now it's going through the headset. All right, so
Take two.
it is Thursday, 8:00. We're going to talk about all things Big House Milsim tonight. I'm joking for Players Wanted. With me is the man with the mohawk, the king of the high kappas, Virtue from Crucible. We're also going to have another guest on here in a little bit as soon as he's done figuring out how to log in. Whenever the first time people join us, they don't know how to properly because they always try joining from their phones. And there's a trick to it with Restream where you literally have to you can't just click the link we send you. You actually have to copy and paste it if you're using the phone from Facebook into your browser, and that's how that works. So Alex will be joining us here a little bit. He's going to talk a lot about how to make power armor and all that. He makes awesome costumes and everything else. So we're going to be talking with Alex here. I'm still trying to get my dinner done to open. First and foremost, this weekend's going to be an exciting weekend for us. On Saturday, Damien gets his action track chair, which we've been really excited for. I can talk normally about it because he's not here right now. He's at Scouts. So I can talk away. And there he is.
Hello, gentlemen. How you doing?
Pretty good, Alex. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man.
So
Doing good. Glad to be here today.
Thank you. It only took 4 weeks to get on the show.
Yeah, and then a lot of technical problems because apparently, as a millennial, I still don't know what I'm doing.
Millennial's the new boomer.
Hey, there you go.
What's up, Captain Tubbs? Starseed, what's going on? Stu, how you doing? And Paul, welcome. All right, Alex. Well, we're going to be talking quite a bit about Geigerlands and armor making and all that fun stuff here in just a few minutes. We're doing, of course, our entry-level stuff of getting things going. So for those of you who don't know what it is, Geigerlands is our post-apocalyptic wasteland-style game. We're avoiding using any sort of real company name of what we're basing it off of so we don't get hit with a big fat cease and desist. So it is post-apocalyptic nuclear fallout. Yay. So for those that have been watching the stream quite a bit, know what I'm about, like some of the pictures I'm about to show. But correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, you're the one that made most of those costumes, right?
Yeah, the ones that you see at the events. Over the years, we've had some other folks like Paul and Misty. They start making their own, but yeah, for the most part, some of the detailed costumes that are out there at Wasteland, we make new projects every year and just bring them out.
Yeah. And it's kind of amazing. Now, I would have had this already up, but for some reason, my system does not want to. We're having technical issues. It's not a show unless we have problems. So, all right, that's it. I'm about to really cheat here. So, because you made the Paladin that was at Wasteland, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you're also at MegaCon walking around, which was funny. We take 2 steps, stop, take 2 steps, stop, take 2 steps, stop.
It was so overcrowded, man. You know, that event, it was fun, but 5 hours into it, we were out of there because there's just too many people. And that was the 5 seconds. What was that?
So yeah, when you guys stopped by my table, you were trying to say something, and like every 5 seconds, somebody was like, "Can I get a picture?"
Yeah, it kind of. I mean, that's fun. Obviously, that's the part of the fun of it. But there were just so many folks that actually got exhausting. We couldn't really find an area, to go off by ourselves and just like chill out and have a beer. It's just a little bit much.
Well, there's one of the costumes. Now, is that the one that Misty made, or is that one of your creations?
That's one of mine. She was wearing it for one of the events we were going to. It's if you guys play Fallout New Vegas, that's the armor from New Vegas, which was like the special Tesla variant that you can get. So we recreated that one. That's Dan and Paul right there. They made their own armors. They did really good. Dan made his in 4 days. I let him use one of my costumes. I dropped it off at his house like a week before, and he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm just going to be able to do this in a week." I said, "Trust me, you're not. You're insane if you think you can." He's like, "No, you don't understand who I am. Like, I get shit done." I was like, "Okay, all right, we'll see what happens." And then, Wasteland was Friday. I dropped it off at his house the Saturday prior. And sure enough, he walks on the field with this thing with the babagusha.
Bababusha. So let's talk a little bit about that, because you obviously create a lot of these things, and I don't have the talent for that. I fixed my legs; they look funny at Wasteland. So what's part of the process that you guys do to go through and create these things? Because I know you use like the foam flooring, right?
Right. So, main material it's called EVA foam, and they're literally just gym mats. They're like the interlocking gym mats that you see, on your garage floor, usually under weight equipment, stuff like that. You can buy them at Lowe's. They're overpriced at Lowe's. You can get them. I like to get mine at this shop called Five Below. You can get a single mat for $3, so I'll go in and buy 20 of them, and that's about enough to get one full set of armor done with that many mats. But the two main materials are contact cement and EVA, and it's not done by eyeball. There's a program that's used called Pepakura, and it's literally a 3D printing program. I know nothing about 3D printing, but the folks that do it are genius, because they find a way to essentially, sorry about that, I got a mosquito on me. They will extract files from the game itself. So whatever game it is, Fallout, Skyrim, it can be anything. It could be Dark Souls. They extract the game files, upload it somehow onto Pepakura, and break it down so that there are numerous files that you can print, and they connect together. So it's kind of like origami. It's interesting. It's like origami on steroids. What we do is, once I have that, I'll usually hire somebody off of Etsy to extract some files. Like if I want a particular armor from a game, they're able to do that. Send me the files. I'll pay them $20, and then I'll get that on my computer, upload it to Pepakura, and then I'll just print it off. And it prints off just like paper. It's right there on paper. You cut it out with a X-Acto knife. You put that on the EVA foam, the piece that you cut out. You cut that out, and then you start gluing it together with contact cement. And contact cement, once it's contacted, once it's on there, it's not ever going anywhere. And it's perfect for airsoft events because EVA foam is a very forgiving material. It can absorb BBs. I've gotten shot full blast, like 30 RPS from 10 feet away, and it'll cause some dents, but it doesn't ever go through the armor. Contact cement itself is fine in heat. Doesn't do anything in heat. Once it's contact, it just becomes its own thing. So it's a labor. It can take anywhere from 3 to 4 months, at least for me. But if you're really dedicated, you can get a suit done in 2 weeks if you know what you're doing. I know that's what Dan did, and he did a great job.
That's yeah. So when it comes down to like me, I have no skills for that. To be honest with you.
Well, it's fun, and it's funny you say that though, because it really doesn't require skill. You're not, you're not like sitting there like an artist creating something from your mind and like figuring out how to do it. Like Pepakura kind of walks you through it. I mean,
Yeah, but you're trying to get this man to do something while sitting still for longer than an hour.
yeah, if you don't like sitting still, you're kind of screwed. You're definitely screwed. And as I've gotten older, I actually don't like doing that anymore either. So I haven't made too many new costumes.
Yeah, no,
That's part of it. Something doesn't work the way that somebody tells me it is. I get frustrated kind of easily when it comes to artsy stuff. Now, everything that you said, I'm going to tell my wife about and tell her to rewatch the stream because my wife is the one that likes to make costumes and art and all that stuff. Like she made
Sure.
her own samurai armor for one of the cosplays that they do. So,
Awesome.
me personally, I have no time for that.
Yeah, it can be very tedious. And it when you first start out, you're going to screw up. I remember the first time I tried something like this. I tried doing a T-45D power armor from Fallout 3, and this was like probably it was about a decade ago when I first did it. I was like 18, and I wanted to, I saw cosplay. I was like, okay, that's cool, but I'm an airsofter, and I would really like to have like a Juggernaut suit that looks like something from the game. Like, I'm not really into cosplay. I just want to bring this out to an airsoft field and it hold up. And so that's kind of where I started with it. But that first costume, man, the helmet was the way I did it was completely inverted. It looked like crap. I had to do it like several times before I figured out what I was doing. So it was probably like 3 failed attempts, and then I guess I was just obsessive compulsive, and I kept doing it until I figured out what I was doing.
See, that's the funny thing because my wife, like, one of the things I always say all the time is close enough for government work, and it doesn't work like that when you're doing stuff like this. So, I mean, it's really kind of awesome because you're. Have you decided what suit that you're coming up with for Geigerlands yet?
So I understood, there's going to be this faction, and I was kind of confused between like, the asylum, if it's going to be like an asylum faction or like, almost like NPCs, like we're going to roam the tunnels and like as monsters or haunt the place, or if it's actually like, y'all want us to be raiders. And for me, I've been very caught up in work recently, so I haven't had a chance to really look at the chat. But from my understanding, I wanted to bring out either the paladin armor again, or something something a little bit new, something that I wore at MegaCon because that was kind of a new armor. I haven't had time to make something truly spectacular for the event by August, so it's probably going to be a miss.
I'll tell you right now, the armors that you currently have are fine. You don't need to make something new to come up there for us. I mean, if you want to.
Well, have you guys y'all play Fallout 76?
I have not.
And you guys both haven't, you said?
No, I played it. I made the mistake of playing it.
Yeah, it's. I agree. I mean, it's only really fun if you got a group of people that you're playing with. But there's this armor in there. It's called Strangler Heart armor, and it's actually really cool. If you guys give it a look, it was kind of the basis I had for the paladin. I just added like this. I bought this mask, so I had the armor itself done with all this plant life coming out of it. It looked like something that was overgrown. It was
Strangler Heart armor.
Yeah, Strangler Heart power armor.
Image incoming.
If you can share the screen in here, but I basically made that armor, and I have the helmet for it. So I was considering bringing that out, but it might look weird with a plant thing. Yeah, it looks just like that. And it was funny because
it is Big House Produce that owns the facility. It is Big House Milsim. I saw the. Let me just pull it up because I know it's on Paul's page. I know I can find it quickly.
All I could think about looking at that was the Toxic Avenger.
You're gonna just start doing a theme song?
It's like, yes, do I facepalm because it's you? But yeah,
Uh,
so you have till August, and apparently you know a guy that can knock one out in 4 days. So hey,
Well, this let me see if I can give you guys an example. Okay, so let me show you guys something really quick, because I'm out into my work area here. Let me see if I know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know if I can share screen right here. Christ.
you should be able to.
Yeah. Let me see. Well, I want to flip it around, but I may just show you guys. So I don't know if you can see it, but so this is
Oh yeah,
something
we
I'm
can see it.
working on now. Yeah, and it's kind of like one of those uh, the armors they had in World War One.
Mhm.
And if you can see, this is one of the helmets too for it. Um, and if you look closely, I mean, it's all foam. See, like it's all foam. And if you can
So it's
see
light as
right here,
hell.
like it's very light, right? Like one of these power armors probably entirely would weigh only about 10 pounds. The only issue is the insulation. It can get very hot, so you got to wear cooling. You got to wear cooling vests. Um, but this is the EVA foam. Okay, this is it right here. It's just a block, and as you can see, it's here's the piece I'm working on right now. It's a shoulder piece. It's just cut and layered and glued together. So it's you can get kind of creative once you have something in your mind. You don't necessarily need to use Pepakura. You can take some liberties with it. But really, it's as easy as just taking a straight razor to foam and connecting things together and see what
Easy,
looks
he
cool and
says.
what doesn't.
It's
well, yeah,
as
it's
easy
using
as.
contact cement. So if you're using DAP, I have plenty of experience with DAP. It's a contact cement that
Yeah,
just
yeah, it's DAP. It's DAP. Yeah, exactly, right there. That's so
That was
that
the
mask.
Paladin, right?
That's the Paladin. That mask is so the entire armor right there is actually the Strangler hard armor from Fallout 76 that I did. The mask itself, there was for that year, I thought it'd be cool to have like some kind of monster. So I actually just bought that mask at a Spirit Halloween, and I added some roots to it, and I painted a different color, and I made it look like it had moss and stuff hanging off of it, and stuff coming out of the mouth to make it look a little bit more in tune with the rest of the armor. But there's a separate helmet that goes with that as well. That I'm probably going to bring out to Geigerlands, just make it look like some kind of irradiated, mossy mess.
So to be aware of what's going to happen at Geigerlands, the tunnel only goes from building 1 to building 5. So you guys control the tunnels, but you and Paul will definitely have problems walking through there because I think it's right at what 6'3", 6'4".
barely.
Yeah. So I mean, and well, Paul's already a really tall dude, and it's funny because he actually doesn't even wear boosters in his armor. He just wears his shoes, I think, or his boots. But it's funny because when I get in my armor, it raises me like I'm 5'10", but it will raise me to like 6'8". So when I get in the armor, I'm actually standing at the same level Paul stands just normally.
Yeah, I had to look up to you guys when you guys were in your armor.
Yeah, yeah.
Gee,
There,
All right.
we got to get Brainerd in power armor just for the memes.
Here, this is here's a look at the Paladin. This is the video I was looking for before. Um, now,
there's a really funny story behind that.
so for that particular event, evidently we were told the wrong thing on how to kill the Paladin.
Yeah.
Was it there was a specific way you had to kill it?
Right. So we had an entire quest line, and you had to go find this. I guess she was like a gypsy or something, and she was the only one that like knew how to like activate like this ritual. But you needed a book. You needed like the Necronomicon from Evil Dead, and we had that scattered somewhere. And you needed to find her, and you needed to bring her to safety, like where I was, and they had to like do this ritual with like chalk and powder, and they had like make a circle, and the players had to protect her. You know, if I got too close or I killed, then everybody just dies. Like that's what would happen. It's like a nuke went off or something. And so I had like 50 guys from the guild just descend on me, and then all the other wastelanders, and I took a beating, man. I had like
I'm trying to find that video because you had the sledgehammer.
I had like 95% of me covered, and I got pummeled, dude. The 5% that was exposed got lit up. I had people charging me and sticking their guns like underneath the armor and firing. I mean, it was great. Like it was, the armor held up fine, but my welts were a hell of a thing.
I remember seeing I can't find the video where you're swinging the sledgehammer around and everything. I mean, and you had players going all over, and all the players were like, "What the hell are we supposed to do?"
Yeah, they got the wrong book, and so I was actually they were gonna lose, but what happened was I had a mechanical failure, quote unquote, with the armor, and the boot, one of the booster boots, came undone. So I was standing on one boot, and the other one was just like regular level. So I was like limping around, and I realized at that point I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to be able to take contact cement to that during the day because I don't have access. I didn't bring the cement. I don't have a heat gun. So I just kind of called it there, and I'm just like, all right, you guys, we'll just say y'all won. But because I just can't, I forfeit. I can't keep playing.
I wish I could find.
But I was swinging branches at people and like taking people, like it became a melee battle at one point because people ran out of BBs and I ran out of my minigun air, and I tried getting this other minigun that was there and it just didn't work. So yeah, we were just doing like a medieval fight. It was really funny.
I mean, you guys obviously haven't heard about the first rule in D&D. No quest survives contact with the players.
I provided the Necronomicon pages. That event was actually real. I mean, that was when it was going through. I think I went down the pathway. I looked and I said, "Nope," and I turned around and left. Because you had like all these people around you, and nobody was able to take you down. I was like, nope.
The idea, we had an interesting idea, Mac and I. It was like we wanted to make like something, when you like play an MMO, like D&D, or if you play like something where there's like a boss fight and you got to have like a raid, right? We wanted to make that in airsoft form, right? Mm-hmm. And so that was the whole idea behind it, but we didn't tell anybody what the hell was going. We didn't tell anybody really that this thing was out there. So most of the people just stumbled across it, and they realized at some point, oh shit, this is a problem, and then they started banding together. But there were a lot of people that might have shit their pants. We wanted to go for a cross between Halloween Horror Night Scare Zone and MMO boss fight, and I think it was really well with the sound system, the speakers, and the music. I think it went well. We wanted to get some fog machines too, but no generators.
Yeah, when it comes down to our event that's going to be coming up at Geigerlands, I mean, we have a lot that we could plan around. So for stuff that we could do there, we have a little bit more play style. So we'll announce like more about the power armor and all that, because that wasteland I went to where you brought the paladin out, that was my first wasteland like ever. So when I saw it, I had no idea how to kill it. I was like, I can't kill that. Bye. And I left. When we came up to 13 or 12, one of them. The very next one, now I knew how to kill things. So I went headhunting for you guys. And then the only time we saw each other was after we're both walking back dead. Like we passed by each other. It's like,
Was this when we were the Vikings, or was this a different one?
the last one you guys were.
We played
The
as
last
like
one.
Vikings, like
You had the
Viking
power armor
raiders with
at
power.
the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
because you
the
guys had the
most-
miniguns.
Are you talking
Wrong.
about .5 or
No,
the one back in the main one?
Sorry. The main one, yeah. I'll tell you right now which one it is because I did not go to 0.5 because of the weather.
Okay. Yeah. No, it was terrible. It was like a hurricane.
You were going swimming.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a trench guy. I bought like this new like NCR Duster, and it almost got, well, it didn't get ruined, but I mean, let me tell you, man, that thing, I had to keep that thing out for like a week in the sun.
What? The Wasteland last year, I guess it was.
I think it was 13. I think it was 13.
It was 13. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you guys were out there, and I guess you guys decided to finally attack in the power armor to Poseidon when the Sunshine Band went on patrol. So it's
Yeah.
like when I was there, I kept that place protected. Something fierce, and it was like nobody's going to come in here and take Poseidon. And the second that we leave, you all destroy. They just came through and just annihilated
Everything hit the
Poseidon.
fan.
Like this. Yeah, I was like, well, I could stand by my thing. While I was there, Poseidon was fine because it was really funny. Like when I was out there and I was shooting out at the crowd and all that, I was taking out the like the super mutants. They attacked us. Must have been like 6 or 7 different attacks, and I would you could hear me hit the pin plates, tink, and then nobody would go up and melee them. I was like, well, somebody just stop being a pussy and go get them. I can't find the wastelands. All right, whatever. It is what it is. So what is it that you're sort of looking forward to when you come to Geigerlands? I mean, you haven't been to this AO, obviously.
Yeah, so it's I've actually never played airsoft out of Florida ever. I've been playing airsoft for about 10 years, and there's a time when I was more active, but like I think what I'm looking forward to is just like a new setup, because I pretty much only do Wayne's World of Paintball like maybe a couple times a year, so I think it'd be cool for the road trip, bringing some camping stuff out there and checking out this place. It sounds like a big place, and a couple haunts are always fun and welcome too.
Yeah, I mean, not to like toot our own horn here, but that facility is absolutely bonkers. With the stuff that
It
we
sounds
can do.
like it. Yeah, it sounds big. It sounds like now is it going to be outside and inside, or is it going to be confined to just the? Okay.
Yep. Outside,
so
inside, and below.
Yeah,
okay.
you guys have the tunnel. For like that's like the players in the last ditch effort are probably going to try to get into the tunnel because that's one of the confirmed, because we gave up that ghost a little while ago. That's going to be one of the confirmed places that they can stay at the end of the tunnel. So that's going to be a really nasty spot for people to be in because they'll have there is no cover.
So it'll
none.
be a meat grinder, is what you're saying.
If they try to go down there, yes. But essentially the goal behind it is that when the rad storm comes, it brings a bunch of rad madness with it to where everybody that's in the asylum and everything else that's not staying for the award or all that, they're pushing out and murking everybody. So the goal is
everybody turns against each other.
Well, so it's already a free for all event, right? So what we did was, you've never been to a Revelations, which by the way, if you have a chance to go there, Revelations also a pretty awesome event. But when you're coming out of it's the way that we have it set up is the last 20 minutes or last 30 minutes of the game. What's going to happen is a siren's going to go off, and that siren's going to be the warning of the rad storms coming. You need to find shelter, so you need to make sure you have enough food and water and enough reactors to power the very few places to hide. So,
Right.
and there's only a certain cap of players that could be at each one of these fallout shelters to survive the rad storm.
Right.
So if there's 600 players, maybe only about 60 to 100 people can get into these shelters. So what's going to happen is when that siren goes off, whatever lives you have, that's it. When you die, you're dead. You can't be revived. There's no respawning. You can be medicked, but you can't be rezzed.
Nice.
So then at that point, if you're dead, you walk off the field. You take your gun off the field because from 9 to 6 is pew pew time, but the game still is after those hours. It's just that bought for weapons only, so we could take iPro off, and then there'll be the band and all that other fun stuff. So there's like a lot of cool details that come up with this event.
Cool.
So what happens is everybody that's on that evil faction, like you're going to see a lot of the NPCs all of a sudden get rad madness and just start murking players that are not inside the bunkers or of the that are safe. You know, even
Right.
to open and get inside those bunkers, it's going to be a hell of a firefight to be secured inside those areas, because if only 10 people can get in there and there's 30 people outside, it's going to be kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a meat grinder.
It's going to be hilarious, is what it's going to be.
Yeah,
popcorn.
I'm an NPC for that one.
Do you want us being more like an actual moving factory? Did you want us to? Because I understood it was going to be more of like reprising like an NPC role, but I'll do whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys are going to be an NPC role. You guys are going to have the ability to wander around and everything else. I would definitely say, like, after the pew pew ends, convert over to your Northman gear if you want. You know, you don't need to stay in the armor at all times. I guess it would be funny to watch, you know, the power armor, all that dancing during the live music that we're going to have. After hours, yeah. So I mean, this is the first. Like, I think we were the first ones that were going to bring live music to an event, and then frickin' Moondog stole the idea and then has a live band playing at frickin' Bad Blood. Prick.
Yeah, but we were the first ones to make it part of the event, not an afterthought.
Yes. Asylum should be almost all power users will be raising hell during a rad storm. That's fine, because you guys are going to see a lot of NPCs that are going to lose their minds when the rad storm comes. We also gave up this one. The battle bus will be a place that a small group of people can hide out the rad storm in, because the battle bus is going to be parked. However, getting onto the bus to do that is probably going to be a hard lesson to do, because the guns will all be working.
I just want to point out that at 34 minutes and 50 seconds, Paul said he was going to twerk in power armor.
I thought you were going to say I said the F-bomb. I was like, I haven't said it yet.
I don't doubt that.
Paul is a madman when it comes to wearing the armor. That dude does not take it off. Alex, like, you saw him at MegaCon. Alex is like, I want to get this shit off. I want to get this off.
Yeah.
And Paul's like, come on, we could go for 4 more hours.
the way Paul now Paul made his armor much more maneuverable, right? Like he's like, because I think it'd be very funny if he added boosters to his boots, because Jesus Christ, he'd be like 10 feet tall. He could have like one of the Space Marine power armors, like, you know, like, he's just a big guy. So, but I've seen it. His armor is very comfortable. Mine is much more like clanky, and it's light, but it's just, there's a lot of insulating in there. I mean, you saw when I took that helmet out. That was full blast AC in that MegaCon convention, and I was pouring sweat.
It would have been full blast AC blowing in there, but that place was still hot, man. With all those bodies pressed around us.
Yeah,
I was like, ugh.
But you know, when when I was a little bit more invested and I had more time for this, I would develop. We developed like air systems to circulate air inside the helmet, as well as you can buy these pretty cheap cooling vests on Amazon that really help. You just throw them in an ice bucket, squeeze them out, and then put them on, and they're cold for like a good hour and 10 minutes, and you just take it off at some point, put it in the cooler again, put it back on, you're good to go. So those really help, and I'm probably definitely going to be using that. If it's in this facility, if there's no AC, it's the only way to do it.
There's no power, there's no AC, but
Yeah.
the temperatures are not going to be as hot as a Wasteland event,
or as cold as Syndicate 1.
Look, I'd prefer the cold of Syndicate 1, to be honest with you. He would prefer it if he's into power armor. Syndicate 1 was 24 degrees.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. One year we had Wasteland, and it was the one time ever, because every single time it's Florida, it's always like 85 or 90. But this one year it was like a crisp 58. And I was like, yes, it was amazing. Like, it was very good.
Yeah, crisp 58.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaking Florida.
Yeah, I'm Floridian all the way. Like,
yes,
Florida, a weird country we like to think doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's its own country. Absolutely.
Don't be jealous. So yeah, I saw that same thing. PC fans were with. I mean, I know there's some fans that you guys could probably put on the back of those helmets that you could have the exhaust and all that come in from.
Yeah, they're like they're like pretty much mascot fans, but they're no different than honestly a fan that you have in like a computer, monitor or something cooling the thing down. It's the same thing. You just hook it up into the helmet. Granted, it blows hot air on you if you're not wearing one of those cold shamogs, but it's better than nothing.
I wonder if the X-Fog would help.
No, it's too light of a fan.
There's always a fine balance when you're trying to make an armor for somebody. It's always like, do I make it more practical or airsoft? Do I add more utility to it, or do I make it look cooler? I've always found that like the more utility it is, the more maneuverable, the less cool it's going to look. And that's, so you can have something that's amazing, but you're not going to hit shit. Like, you're just not going to hit anybody because you're not going to see anything.
I mean, it's called fashion, man. Just go with it.
It's airsoft fashion.
Come on, man. That's the best part of what we do here. Captain, to answer your question, what it says historically for Crescent is around that time is between the average is about 75 degrees, 76, between 75 and 76 degrees during the day, and like 59, 58 degrees at night is the average. And that's what we're going to go for. So now what we can hope for is that we get one of those weird cold spells up there, like the weekend before, so all the buildings get inundated with cold, because it's like walking into the AC.
That would be nice.
It was freaking hilarious when we were up there for Syndicate 1, because it was literally 27 degrees, right? So the interior buildings were colder than the exterior, but you could see your breath inside the building. So there's certain cold spots in there. You're just all of a sudden like, up goes bye. So and you guys were planning on coming up a little bit early. Like, I go up a week early because I have to prep. But you guys were talking about coming up like Thursday or something like that.
Right. It's funny because I'm transitioning into a new job currently. I'm going to a new law firm here, and it's funny because that was the one thing I told them. I said I gotta let you know, like, you're gonna start great. I can't wait to start July, but I hope this isn't going to be a problem, because I got something in August that I'm putting down for. I'm gonna be out for like a week and a half, so I'm like taking a lot of time off so we can get up there early. And then after the event, I'll have some time to like not, freak out and rush back, because we're going to have a lot to pack, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So, I mean, the way I do it is I usually go up like the Sunday before, so I can start going through and getting everything prepped, stuff marked off, and everything. Start cleaning. And when we're doing cleaning now, we do cleaning. We clean up more than what the airsofters left behind.
Okay.
So there's
Okay.
debris and shit that's inside. Like Echo has been fully cleared out. So
Yeah, that was fun.
yeah, all that is gone. It's cleared out. We don't have to worry about it anymore. The fiberglass and stuff, but there might be like Jay might have some of that still around, so we have to clean that up as well. So when I say we do cleanup, we love this facility so much that we want to make sure we keep it. And not only do we clean up all the BBs, all the grenade frags, all the parts to it, but we also clean up everything else. So so that way we could have future events there. We're gonna have to put trash cans everywhere because people are gonna be all over. But the cool factor is like the three main factions can take one of the three cell blocks. So Echo's already been claimed by that one's nightclub faction, the neutral faction. So to give you an idea, because I don't know if you've seen the map to this yet or not.
No, not yet.
Here I'll show. Well, you're on the stream now, sir. So
prepare for disappointment.
Jerk. Hey, what the hell? Oh, there it is. Zoom. So to give you an idea, Juliet and Delta, these three are the major cell blocks. All right. So Echo is the neutral faction. We thought Delta was going to be the good faction, and then Juliet was going to be the evil faction. Building 3, these two are also play. 1 is out of play, and Bravo's out of play. Everything else is open. Now, for camping, you cannot camp in Alpha or Charlie or the central group of buildings right here because we have plans for those.
What are they, like missile silos or some shit? It's just...
No, these are all connected.
Okay.
This like for this location, 5, 6, 26, 4, and I are connected on multiple levels. So you can actually go through and go into the buildings either through the basement, through the first floor. It causes for some really awesome firefights for like a regular Milsim. But when it comes down to our use and everything else, whoops. I love how Restream cuts like the phone ones.
That man has some amazing pores.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Alex. It's always with the phones where.
Let me see if I can leave and come back. I'm not getting volume. Can't hear you guys. Give me a second.
Okay. Well, for the tunnel, I think what you're talking about is F, Paul. They can't camp out in F. Because I think that's the building that you're going to stick the asylum at. The top floor building 6 is also out of play. But that's all going to be roped off. You guys will see it beforehand. Yeah, so F, we might not be able to get into the basement of F for you guys to be able to use the tunnel there. I'm hoping that they can eventually, or if we can get it going, that'd be awesome. But 7 and 8, you guys can camp out in. Kilo, you guys can camp out in. 9, except for the one bay on 9, you guys can camp out in. So there's going to be stuff positioned everywhere across this field, all over, and there's stuff to be interacting with. Yes. Yeah, you guys have, because F only has 2 ways into that building, so it's a way for you guys to go off and come on. So essentially, players won't be able to go in past the front entrance to F. Did you fix it, Alex?
There we go. Yeah. I had somebody call me and I had to just like hang up on them, like call back later. And then after that, the sound wouldn't come through.
Yeah. Restream's being special today.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out some stuff for our own things. So, like we're trying to get the Twitch channel, that a little bit of love and all that. Yeah, that's what F is going to be for. You guys are going to have that clear, this long portion right here. As I take it, where you guys are going to be staging here. Let me just make that bigger. This long portion right here down F is where I guess you guys are going to put your stuff on. So past this portion right here, nobody should be going in there with live guns or anything else or shooting.
Okay.
Because you guys, there's 2 exits. One's right here where this one road is, and then right here, right by 3, there's another exit point out. We don't want any fire happening around, like any shooting happening around 3, because that's the chapel. Right. That's old as hell.
Yeah, don't want to wreck any of the. What is it? It's got stained glass, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's $5,000 fine to fix and replace that.
Yeah, no thanks.
So, yeah, we don't want any of that to
break it. You bought it.
Exactly. So, when it comes down to like F with the 2 exits on F and all that, you guys, if there's any sort of negotiating or anything that you guys want to do, by all means you can. But we're going to give you guys F2. That's not a live fire location or
It's
stuff.
It's called the green room.
Mm-hmm. That is the green room for this event. So there's probably going to be more stuff that's outside. Like I have a feeling 11's going to be used this time. I'm hopefully by that time, it might happen by that time, but maybe the 2 portable buildings, G and H, might be gone. It would be kind of cool if they were, but doubt it. So,
I mean, if you guys would just let me as a flamethrower.
No, because if you do that, you'll burn down the entire mountain.
Yeah.
That place catches fire, something fierce.
I mean, it's good. If you want to bring some cigars, we can use that to light them.
Hey, what's up, Daddy Mags? Yep, everything's going good, man. Saturday is the big day for Damien's Action Track Chair. So if you guys want to come down to Hollywood on the beach, we're going to be doing my smoked brisket. I got the brisket already been seasoning for a few days now, so that's in there. And he's getting his badass chair. So they're still not back from Boy Scouts yet. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yes, you're gonna be
excited to stay longer so he didn't have to hear his dad rant at a computer. All right, say it out loud.
And it's just me and Alex now.
Well, where did he go? Where did he go? He ran away.
He made a comment. I threw him out. He just crossed over. He just got his Air of Light ceremony last weekend. So he just now he's like freshly minted Boy Scout now. So I don't know where they are, but this is going to be a really awesome event. We're going to have a lot of fun. Tickets are starting to fly. So we had a couple. Tubbs. I was going
to be big.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep a balance. I've been promoting the event in a bunch of LARP groups because I was a nerd for many, 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 many years on the LARP community, and I've been pumping it up. People are interested. Some of them are scared about the whole airsoft aspect. And I'm like, dude, we used to take arrows literally to the face. Trust me, this is way better.
And it's going to be it really is going to be a low fire event.
Yeah, I try to explain it to people. Some people they hear airsoft and they have a fear, which is absolutely hilarious. Yeah. We're nerds, quiet you.
If you're coming from Nerf, I get it. I mean, but that's what makes them so much more fun, you know. Like the airsoft itself is just it adds a different dynamic where I think, you know, you can only do so much with Nerf guns, you know. I mean,
no. I did so Darkon, which is full contact, full speed, medieval LARP fantasy nerdiness. It's like you ever see the video on YouTube where the guy's going fireball, fireball, fireball?
Yeah,
it's like that, but imagine professional boxers and some MMA fighters thrown in. Like when I say full contact, it's foot to chest, whack you twice, keep going. Not that we didn't have the guys in the back line throwing fireballs at people, but the beauty of it was is if you dodged it, got in close and beat the crap out of
There's they have the full contact sport I've seen in over there in Europe a lot, where they actually have like real halberds and swords, and they're like these guys who are ripped just smacking the shit out of each other.
Full Metal Combat. They actually have a chapter here in Texas. One of my buddies, who is a cop in Texas, actually does it. He showed up at a private event I was DJing with his arm in a cast, and I was like, "What happened?" I thought it was work related, and he shows me a video of this guy beating the crap out of another guy with a sword and plate mail. He's like, "Yeah, the guy getting his ass kicked is me." It was great. I'm like, yeah, issues.
They have one here too in Orlando. There's a group that they train in full contact settings. I mean, they wear full steel armor and they do the whole thing. Now, granted, they're not a bunch of MMA fighters, not a bunch of ripped people. They're a bunch of string beans. But I mean, if they think they can hold their own, good for them. I kind of would like to see it.
Yeah, there's some weird, fun communities out there, but I'm trying to get these guys to come out to Geigerlands because they like the idea, they like the concept, and merging those communities. I think this is going to be a good event to do it because there is a local LARP out here called Wastelands, ironically enough, that has a airsoft LARP aspect where they only allow springers.
Okay.
I made the mistake of going to one of their events with my normal loadout. Before they made the rule about it being only springers. I'm not saying it's my fault.
But
they learned what HPA was that day.
Yeah, there was like I went to
Dystopia Rising is one of the groups too. Yep.
Yeah, that's there's one thing I do want to address because it came up. I found out about this the other day. I wasn't too happy about it. I want to clarify something very much when it comes down to Geigerlands, Syndicate, and Scorched Earth. The creative team that brought those three things to this facility is Christian Harris, Marley Brock, and myself. We were the creative team behind all this. Virtue obviously has helped out with some rules and some input as well for Geigerlands and for Syndicate after, but we were the creative team that was brought in to make these. If anybody's saying otherwise, it's not true. We're the ones that designed these games. We're the ones that came up with the rules. We're the ones that poured hours into it. No other company owns that except for Big House Milsim. So I just want to make sure people understand that we built this. And then when somebody did what they did, they didn't own it. Big House Milsim paid for it. Big House Milsim owns it. That's why Big House Milsim is continuing to do it. So if you guys have any questions about it, there's going to be an announcement that gets drafted and put up. But the reason why it didn't go away from this location is because we designed, wrote it. We have, 50, 60 hours into this now, at least?
Jesus Christ.
That's not even including us just talking about it. I'm talking about actually design and planning.
I don't want to think about it.
So
this is impressive.
We put a lot into it.
It's amazing too that you guys got this going. I mean, it's a pretty big deal, especially this whole facility. It's crazy.
Well, and that's not even including what we're planning to do for the next role play event after this one. So for this year, we have two more events. We obviously have Geigerlands, then we have Scorched Earth, which is your standard force on force Milsim event. There is going to be no third faction. Green versus tan. And you'll have some NPCs. The civilians will be there as the flavor and stuff that the civilians are, but they're really not a faction. They're there to give ambiance, make some noise, and give you guys the tier ones the night before on Friday night. So be understanding of that. A lot of stuff has come in for rules changers. No, Stu. So because excited to convince my other half to get a ticket. Awesome.
Nice.
But with Scorched Earth, plan for cold weather, guys. It's going to be the first week in November. It's probably the event that we're going to end in November every year. So maybe next year we might actually have 5 events, but right now we're planning for 4. So as it stands right now, we're looking to see if it's going to be the first or second week of April for Syndicate 3. And then mid-May for Geigerlands 2, sometime in August for the next roleplay event, and then ending the year with Scorched Earth. So, and actually, I really want to keep the Scorched Earth in November, even though it's cold. It can be cold up there because it just looks like a dystopian wasteland.
It's Pennsylvania. It always looks like a dystopian wasteland.
No, in August, it actually looked nice up there because all the foliage was up, all the leaves, the trees had leaves. There was bushes that were in full regrowth.
I think you're just from Florida and you have high expectations. Everybody else up here is just depressed looking at this, and you come up and like, this is beautiful. The rest of us are going, oh, good.
Yeah, look, the only thing we have in Florida, right, are pine trees, some oak trees, and a whole lot of palmetto trees. Okay, that's it. That's Florida in a nutshell.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I'd say so. I'd say so.
There's not a diversification of the forest and the foliage and everything else. That's it. And we're also flat as shit until you get into like Ocala. Then there's some rolling hills, but even still,
yeah, those weren't hills. Those weren't hills. I drove through there. That wasn't hills.
It's over 2 feet tall or over 6 feet tall. That's a hill.
Dead central Florida, baby.
See, Mike knows what's up.
Ain't that the truth? Bleak as hell. Yeah, so that's why we want to keep Scorched Earth there. We still don't have the storyline behind Scorched Earth yet. We're working on it. Guys, we want to make sure Geigerlands is fully set up and done with all the rules that we have set in stone. So then that way, when you guys go through it, there's a lot to dive into here. We're actually going to, I told Christian the next Thursday stream, we have to have him on so we could actually focus on, okay, what is going to be our, like, for people that never have done a role play event before, we need to make this LARPing for idiots like thing, so they can really understand.
Sorry, sir. We call that guide LARPing for the normies.
No, we just need to get LARPing for dummies. We just make that book.
Narping.
That actually may already be a book. I'm curious now.
Look, I'm saying that, look, I like it when I travel through. I mean, there's certain areas I don't want to stay in, just like down here in Florida. There's certain areas you just, it's nice to visit. Like Orlando, it's nice to visit. Too.
It's the road trip
too.
Yeah. You can see all those weird, like, you know, something like you see these things on the side of the road when you're driving from Florida up north, or from up north to down south. You just see like these things. You're like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's like something out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, you know, like this looks like a scene in like Jeepers Creepers. Like, this things that I'm like looking at here on the roadway. You know. It's like these sideshow attractions too, which are, you know, I think that's again, that's another thing I'm looking excited to, at least when coming to this event. The road trip there. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of weird stuff on the way.
Remember, when you see the sign that says "Hell is real," you're in Ohio.
Horseshack says it is a book.
Yeah, I just found it. I'm trying to see if I can order it. They're out of stock.
Cool. Looks like. Hey, folks, I'm going to have to head out here. I got to help with dinner, but it's been a blast.
Okay. Thanks for coming on, Alex.
Yeah, really glad that you guys had me come on, and looking forward to it. You know, it's gonna be great. I think Paul and I are planning to get some kind of convoy going up there, but
yeah, we just got to tell more of the Florida people, hey, look, you know, it's not a bad of a drive if you have a lot of people with you. It really isn't.
Also, I can recommend this. I don't know route you're taking, but if you see a sign for Grandpa's Cheese Barn, trust me, stop and go in.
Okay.
If you're diabetic,
that sounds really sketch, but I'll give it a
shot.
Trust
me, but if you're diabetic, don't breathe inside. You will get the beatus.
Just for breathing.
That sounds amazing.
Dude, I don't want to give too much away, but there's a building dedicated to fudge.
So it's not cheese?
Oh, no, there's cheese. There's several buildings.
Okay. All right.
Willy Wonka's chocolate factory for rednecks is the only way I can describe it.
Pedro's south. Pedro's south of the border is overpriced. Thanks for coming on, Alex. We appreciate you coming on, brother.
You guys have a great one. All right. Thanks for having me.
Bye. There he goes. He's out. Sounds like a clogged artery. LOL. Pedro south of the border is not all that. It really isn't all that. It's just like a glorified tourist trap. Um, yeah, I've been there several times, stopping off. Um, uh, what sign is that? Virtue looks excited.
Oh, I started scrolling through stuff and I just found a picture of me on top of the MTV building in full LARP gear. Have I not shown you this?
No. All right. I don't want to see that. One second, not you. My screen. All right. What'd you send me? Where'd it go? There it is.
Also trying to find this book, LARPing for Dummies, in stock somewhere. I'm on the back. The back with the only guy in a gray uniform. Back left, holding the blue flag.
Oh, okay. I see you now. Let's see. So I'm starting to play around with some of the stuff for Twitch and everything else to sort of get that to build up that next level. I still have 13 days left on my. I think it's 13 days left on my Zuck band. Let's see. Shall we? Yep, 13 more days. Can't go live for 13 more days. Can't advertise for 13 days. Your group posts removed lower in the feed for 13 days. And boy, is that the truth. Holy crap. I tried posting in a couple of groups and it literally dropped me below other people's posts from like 2 weeks prior. They're not, Zuck is not playing around when it comes down to it. It really does kind of suck. So, all right. With that being said, I'll go ahead and throw the caption up there, let that go scrolling across the screen. Geigerlands. So what we decided to do, because of the fact that we can't promote, I can't do advertisements or anything else for posts or nothing like that for the next 13 days, we've extended that little lovely early bird special for another 15 days. So you guys have a little bit extra time to jump in and get that chance at getting a ticket for like $100. You guys should be able to check your email and see inside the email that there is a discount code there for another $10, so or $15. So it actually knocks it down to 10 or 15, something like that. It is. Tell you in a second. I gotta just jump in here. Yeah, it knocks it down to $100. So it's a $10 promo code. Right now the tickets are $15 cheaper. And who is that this jumped on? I imagine they're at Big House Milsim group page, Big House Milsim community. Some of you guys might have noticed that the name of the group has changed. Finally got that done. Oh, the P90. So I'm going to say no to it for a reason of it's not something that can be easily mounted, and he really can't hold up anything with weight. His guns, anything that he uses to play airsoft with, has to be mounted on it, and an easy thing for him to load and unload. So I think where we're going to ultimately go in. Oh, that's Zach. Hey, Zach, how you doing, brother? So we're going to be doing. We're using something either M4 style. Or pretty much, we're also going to be using an LMG. Like when he goes to events, he's going to be LMGing that thing up. So, shit, I got to shut the door. They have since come home from the scouts. So it's just one of those things for mounting purposes. Uh, but I definitely do appreciate the offer. Let's see. All right. So the tickets for both for Geigerlands are right there at obhmilsim.com. Pretty soon, I'm going to put up the tickets for public consumption for Scorched Earth. The pricing is going to be very similar to Syndicate. Sorry, to Syndicate pricing. So it's going to be the same prices that are there. We might do something where it's an early bird price as well to get people to get their tickets. That one is going to be capped out at 500 players. We can't go above that. So it'll be first come, first serve again. We do not have the names of the faction right now. Yes, we do. Actually, I'm a liar. We came up with the faction names. That's right. So we did do something. So I'm just waiting for it to pop up because I have to remember which color was which. Normally I have this stuff memorized, guys, but when it comes down to it, it's one of those things of, yeah, I don't. I haven't scripted this out yet. All right, so it's going to be the Nationalists, which are tan, versus the Federalists, which are green. The Nationalists versus the Federalists. They both could be good. They both could be bad. So, hey.
There's no marketing punch for that. I can't think of anything cool.
Well, this one really, I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, Scorched Earth is just your standard, regular old Milsim, right?
Oh no, I know, but yeah, remember, I'm always thinking like, how can we merchandise this option?
Actually, Mike, Gregory, I think the prices might increase for Scorched Earth. I don't know yet. Right now, it's $125 a ticket. Federalist. The Federales.
Yes,
so,
it is a regular Milsim, Tubbs.
Straight up regular Milsim, green versus tan. Like I said, there will be civilians there. Now, this is one of the things that we were getting some like mixed feedback on. We really want people to understand that we're going to have for sure, the future safety briefs that we have are going to be scripted to where everything that's in the rules, anything's going to be on a sheet of paper that whoever's given that safety brief will read off word for word.
Yeah.
And the reason behind that is we don't want to have any misconceptions whatsoever about what's happening during the event. Evidently, some people didn't even realize that. Let's get 1 second.
Yeah, there was there was a lot of confusion at Syndicate 2. So to remedy that, the decision was made that there's going to be 1 or 2 people trained to literally read the safety brief off the script. So there's no deviation. And I'm going to separate the safety brief from the event brief because those are 2 different things. And a lot of things were getting mixed in and causing confusion. So there is the safety brief, which is about everything safety related on the AO. And then there will be an event brief talking to you about the event.
Yeah. So the advisement that we're going to do is we're probably going to end up doing some informational videos for each of these events leading up about power armor and stuff like that, going over the rules so people can actually watch the rules and everything else. So that way people can see firsthand. If they see the video and all that, they understand what's going on because we're not going to change the rules once it's set in stone. There was definitely some stuff that was added to Syndicate that we didn't get a chance to write down the rules for people to read, but it was supposed to be properly explained, especially when it comes down to taking prisoner. Like people said, hey, well, this one guy, he came up and he rezzed me, or I rezzed this one guy and you shot him. I was like, yeah, I saw that video. You thought it was a teammate. You didn't say I am taking you prisoner. which is exactly what you're supposed to do when it comes to taking a prisoner. You res the wrong guy, he shot you, it's good to go, you know? Um, that's the way that stuff's gonna go. The prisoner things are always gonna be there. Nikolai is gonna be a hard time for you guys to take him. He's always gonna not physically punch back or anything else, but he won't go easily. You're gonna have to wrestle him around, restrain him as you're moving around. Better keep a tight grip on his arms because if he breaks free, he's going to try going for a weapon or something like that. That's part of the thing of bringing him back to the score points. Is that's one of the things you have to do. Now, a couple of people gave some feedback about grabbing guns that were in holsters and all that. That's feedback taken. Just DEA learned a lesson quick, and they made sure that nobody had a weapon near me when they were taking me back the second time. The first time didn't learn too well, but when it comes down to somebody who is a prisoner, we try to simulate something that was vastly different than what you guys experienced at other games. It worked well for the most part. Only a couple of people got upset about it. One guy got mad because there's a grenade out that I ripped a grenade off of his. I literally smacked an EG-67 off his vest and killed everybody in the room. In the future, we'll make sure it's expressly clear that when you're taking this prisoner, it's going to simulate you have to take a prisoner. Those that were in the tier ones knew exactly what we were talking about as well, because of how they had to take Seb. So. Well, when it comes down to the power armor sets, I don't think you guys can be taken prisoner after it's been disabled. And we're still working out the prisoner rules for Geigerlands. There's
honestly, hear me out. This is hilarious. We have to wait to talk to Christian. So this isn't official. Do not take it as that. This would be perfect. Yes, you can take one of them prisoner, but it requires 6 people to move the person in power armor. I think it would be hilarious to watch them try to get 6 people together to take one guy in power armor hostage while everybody else is shooting them.
No, the problem that I think is what happened. I can see where this is going to go bad fast, where the power armor will get damaged.
Fair enough. Well, I'm not talking like they have to wrestle the guy, but you have to have 6 people with hands on, and he just walks along with them. So you have 6 people disarmed and defenseless because they want to try to move a tin can.
Yeah, and that was another thing that we want to address too. That is for some of the feedback that came in about what happened on Sunday. So there was a bad decision, and we're going to own up to this. That we made a bad decision to pretty much end scoring for the day and do this hybrid thing because there was only 50 people. Well, by the time the game started, there was close to 200 people that were going to be playing.
Yeah.
So moving forward, go ahead. Say it.
It wasn't a bad decision based off of the intel we had at the time. The time the decision was made, we only had 50 people about 50 people left on the AO. Everybody had disappeared. We thought because it was Sunday and everybody was gone, they were gone. Instead, apparently a bunch of people decided to get together and go into town and get food together. And the decision was made to have one epic fight for you guys to send you off, with that adrenaline rush. And once we got everything set up, everybody came back. But it was ridiculous. They all showed up at the same time, grabbed their gear, and ran on the AO.
Next time, for the future games, we're keeping the AO set up the same way. We might shrink the circle of area of operations down to like maybe just 4, 5, and 6, I and 26. That one big main area.
Yeah. Granted, the bad decision came about of the building we chose to use. I'll cop out on this one. I wasn't in any position of control or in charge when the decision was made to use that building. I and a few others said it was a horrible idea, but we were in no position to do anything about it.
That has changed.
So be assured, if I think something is a stupid idea, I'm going to be vocal. Very vocal. Yeah.
So we've taken a lot of stuff to heart. So I want people to understand that for us going to the events and all that, trying to word this the right way. I didn't have any. I really didn't have any control over what was going on Sunday because I was too busy packing to go home. Seeing the weather the way it was, see the people the way that was, I figured that we were not going to be doing too much play because the rain was coming in and people were complaining about having to play in the rain. So we didn't think there was much of a game going on. Tracking to see the weather rolling in, I now have a 20-hour drive ahead of me. I had to make sure I was packed up, get everything ready, good to go. That was my dereliction. I should have stayed on top of it. I should have been focused and on point and just been like, no, we're shifting. We're going back to the original spawn points, but we will use building 4, 5, and 6 and keep it contained to that building. You guys probably would have had a hell of a lot better time. We can say for Syndicate 3, there's going to be no Blackwater faction. That was something that was tried. It didn't work. And Syndicate 3 will always have the Black Ops, our Op 14, the black suits. It's Dark Horse 6, but it's the black suited players there. They are always on there. We are going to be able to. That was so effective for how we were able to move people around and how to utilize people. We want to continue using that. We want to continue to do that. So we don't want you guys thinking that we didn't take a lot of this stuff to heart, or we didn't think, or that we're not keeping it. We're keeping it up to date. We're making sure that the complaints were heard, understood, and we're going to move forward with them. The night before the game, we got some ideas. A good show. It's a smoke machine, strobe lights, PA speakers, etc. Awesome, love it. I loved it. Pafo, and we all camp till the end, and we do it again. That's right. It's going to be a positive thing. We always try to add new stuff for you guys to like and do because we want this stuff to be different. We want the gameplay to be different. We want you guys to have experiences. We will be doing, like a couple of days before, we'll be doing 5-minute streams of this is your objective. Pay attention to the objective. Make sure you get this. So it's going to be stuff like that. Like when it comes down to Geigerlands, we're going to do something very similar. We'll be showing off the stuff that some of the things you're going to be looking for, some of the questions you guys can do to bring stuff over. And I can tell you right now, the more people that come to this event, the more stuff that we can do for you all. So if this event sells out, I can promise you, if this event sells out by say mid-July, you all will be really surprised at how much stuff we bring to the table. Like we all know you guys are patch whores.
Imagine what you're talking about.
Imagine completing a quest and getting a patch. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Also, if you got significant others that you want to get into the sport, this is a great event to bring them out to because it's not going to be pew pew heavy.
No,
it's their chance to hang out with you in your hobby and realize exactly how weird you are.
This event is going to be a low fire event. The ammo is going to be scarce. It's like it's Fallout. I mean, sure, everybody walks onto the field with 3 loaded mags. Once that goes out, you have to earn ammo throughout the day at ammo refill stations, which we wanted to clarify. The ammo refill stations are going to be no fire zones. It's not to say people might not camp outside the no fire zones, but if the ammo vendors see it, that you might trigger the ammo vendors, and they get nasty. All the factions are taking applications for people to join up. Exactly, it'll definitely be a war party. But that is part of this part of the thing. Like the admins are not really there to direct this game. This game is a free-flowing, living thing where it's going through. The NPCs will have quests for you guys to do to earn rewards so that you guys can start building up stuff for your encampments, like food, water, fuel reactors, all that cool stuff. All that stuff's inside the rules, and we're constantly updating, making sure it's up to date for you guys, so you all know what exactly you all want to do, how you want to do it. But yeah, definitely, definitely, I would. This is a game I would go to. Is the best way to put it.
It's going to be a blast. One of the bands had to pull out, so we only have one band. But I'll be doing a live DJ set, and anybody's caught out my live streams understand what's about to happen. And I am bringing karaoke equipment because I want to see Paul karaoke in power armor.
You know what? I don't think there's ear pro strong enough.
It'll be brilliant.
I feel bad for anyone who tries to trade with us. Remember, the evils, people that are evil aligned, can trade with you. Neutrals could trade with you, Paul. The goods can't. Shiny. And remember, guys, at 6 o'clock on Saturday, all pew pew stops. All guns come off the field. All iPro comes off. I mean, boffer weapons are still a thing, but then you can go out there, go through and do the thing. Jackal Tactical. I want to talk about them for a minute. They got some badass armor that they're bringing to this event. Arms, badass badass foam weapons. Yeah,
Jesus.
sorry. I'm still thinking of all the badass power armor that's coming to this event. Can you believe in love? Can you believe in love after love? So let's see here.
Also, speaking of that, once guns come off the AO, guys, it's a safety issue. People are asking. I got a message asking about if we're going to give them a warning if they forget or if there's a screw up. This being overall my responsibility at this point, there will be no warning. If the guns are off the AO and you show up with one, I'm going to ask you to go home. It's a huge safety issue. I cannot have a margin of oops, my bad. So before you come back on the AO, check your pockets, check everywhere. If it flings BBs, it stays off.
Let's put it this way. We can't start the live music until the search of the AO is complete. There is no Nerf, no
projectiles.
Anything that fires with projectiles is off the AO. So if you bring a Nerf bow, like ones that shoot the Nerf darts or no, the Nerf things, has to come off the AO because iPro's off the field. No, storing it inside a locked box inside of on the field inside of your cell or your campground is not acceptable. It has to go off the field.
And that's because of insurance, guys.
Yeah, and we will be going around. And if we find something, don't be surprised when we say pack your stuff and go home. We're not trying to be. Yeah, you can't throw melee weapons anyway.
Yeah, can't throw melee weapons anyway. And this goes for this isn't us being a dick to you guys. This goes for the staff too. I'm checking every staff member as well as everybody else. Everything comes off the field.
Yeah. Even the guys that are in asylum that have their own green room. That green room is not an armory. It's not a vault. It goes off the field. The only weapons that are staying on the field, but they're going to be completely disabled, is the stuff for the battle bus, because once it's on, taking it off and putting it back on again is hard. So those are staying on, but they're going to be completely disabled. We're actually taking the tanks off the field, so it can't be used. But anything else? No. Your settlement guns come down. What the hell? Where is?
Trying to think. The food truck will be out in the AO. If you shoot my food truck, I am going to hurt you. That is a threat.
There's some of the stuff from Jackal Tactical. Those are all foam weapons.
Dude, I want the chainsaw too, man. We're going to be fighting over that thing.
That's some really cool stuff. We're probably going to have Jackal on sometime soon, see if Paul will grace us with his presence. I love the Storm Great shield there. So he's also got a bunch of other stuff like spinners and everything else. So it really is going to be like wrenches and hammers and everything. It really is going to work. Hey, what's up, Tank Goblin?
They're gonna have some tasty treats.
Yeah, your giant hammer can be brought in, sure.
Yeah,
It's anything that's it's melee weapons are going to be allowed after 6 o'clock and between 6 and 9. When you come onto the field on Friday, melee weapons are allowed. Um, uh, After 6 o'clock on Saturday, melee weapons are allowed. The things that are not allowed is anything that fires a projectile. That simple.
now you're just bragging.
He's compensating.
Mm-hmm. Does your hammer say overcompensation on the side?
It says, "I Poppy."
Oh. Oh.
But way to say that. Also, guys, the vendors are going to set up on the field. They've all asked to set up on the field. Now, you can't buy stuff with caps. Sorry, hate to break it to you. But yeah, vendors will set up on the field. So that way you guys can go, oh, God. Ugh. You guys can get your real steel going and all that. So we're going to be giving you guys a lot more information. By the way, Sin, are you in town this weekend? Are you home this weekend or are you at another convention?
I sort of am home. I have a lot going on.
Because Sunday at 9 is the next Bad Bullet stream.
I should be here. I should be here, but then I have to gear up to head to the prison because I have to transport that giant radio tower.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have fun with that.
So on the upside, speaking of improvements, we have is 8 feet times 4. I can't math.
Talking about 28.
Yeah,
24.
24. Anyway, they're 4 8-foot.
32. 32.
Yeah. So it's 34-foot tower that's going up somewhere on the AO to help boost radio signal. So anybody that's been to the prior event at Crescent was having transmission issues or distance issues. Took care of that problem.
Paul wanted to show off his compensation machine there.
Dude, how big are your feet? Those things look like you could run on water.
Pontoons. That's what us tall people have. We have big feet, man. It's for balance.
U-boats.
I was doing 6 times 4 was 24.
Yeah. So yeah, there's gonna be I don't know when it's going up. Hopefully, it's supposed to be going up before Geigerlands. But I acquired a giant frickin' tower to help with signal.
And just so you guys know, too, we have plenty of radios now. That radio situation has been solved. You have like 13. I have another 6.
Yeah, I have a trunk full of radios right now. 14.5 size shoe. That's no longer a shoe. That's a small home.
Yeah, I have size 13 shoes.
Weirdos. So staff will have radios, so there'll be a communication chain. I have been informed that I will have a rapid response vehicle for my use. So if you see me on a 4-wheeler, get the hell out of my way. It's literally not going to be in use unless I have to go deal with something.
Yeah, I was going to, because we also were looking at the side-by-side as well, getting a side-by-side out there. But this event's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, guys, so get your tickets. Again, here you go. obhmilsim.com. Get your tickets now.
And if you guys are in groups, if you're in like North American Airsoft community or any of the groups like that in your area, let them know about the event, man. It's a chance to get a convoy of friends, take a road trip, and some of the best airsoft events I've been to. Part of the fun was the trip to get there with my friends and the stupid shenanigans that happened along the way.
And this one's going to have a lot of stupid shenanigans in it. So people have been asking, and we'll do this because we'll finish up around an hour and a half now, and usually these Thursday streams don't last more than an hour and 45. We try not to anyway because it's Thursday night. Yeah, we have shit to do. But when it comes down to when does the game start? Technically, it starts at 2 o'clock Friday when the first safety brief ends and the doors to Geigerlands open. You guys can go start setting up your encampments. You can't have a gun on the field yet, but you can go scope out. If you're staying inside of one of the cell blocks, you can go, scope out your cells that you want to be with your buddies to camp out in. So bring air mattresses because you can put them right on those things and you don't have to sleep on the floor. You're elevated. I think it's a twin size mattress will fit just fine in there.
Yeah, so their
Twin or
first issue, so a twin will fit with room.
is it twin or full? I think it's
No,
twin.
they're twin. They're
Yeah,
twin,
twin.
but the prison bunks we measure them, they're slightly too short to actually be a twin. I think it's a product of the time that the bunks were built,
Gotcha.
but you can throw a twin size on it.
So you guys can go in there. Just the toilets don't work.
Don't shut your door.
There might be generators set up outside of each of the big cell blocks.
Yeah, there
There's
will
going to
be
be
one set up outside of E. It's going to be massive.
there's definitely going to have to be there'll be some stuff. No, not sleeping in a haunted prison, haunted penitentiary. I'm sleeping in the RV outside. I'll be outside. I mean, I'll be on the field walking around until probably 1 o'clock in the morning, and then going to sleep, and then getting up and starting everything up because at 9 o'clock. So Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. is when we're going to allow people to start stacking up with their guns and all that outside, so we can give another safety brief or another finalized updated game, right?
Yeah, it'll be the event brief, the game.
Yeah,
brief.
the event brief, because now weapons are going to be on, and then the doors will open and will allow people to funnel in through the main building to go out. We're not going to open the gates. That's going to be through the main building through two because we have to check to make sure that everybody's thing. So we're going to have everybody come past us, showing us their three mags, whether three mid caps or one high cap mag. So if you're doing the math, and those EMP ones that has 250 rounds, two of those. So
Yeah, nice try.
nice try.
Also, there's the new Lancer Speed Mags, which hold 200 apparently. Yeah, don't be that guy.
Yeah.
And because it came up, if you bring a shower grenade, it counts as one of your mags.
I'll let you all deal with that thing because if you go to use them, I think you have to have the grenader perk. So
Yep.
it's a wasted perk. So we'll be posting up the perk system, and we're going to try to put together a nice even website so that you guys can see the breakdown for Geigerlands, so you guys can get an understanding of the different perks and all that. So to use, so that way you guys can be really upfront and ready to go for that. The next stream that we're going to do is going to be this Sunday. We're going to be doing at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be doing our next Bad Blood live stream. Oh, by the way, do you hear this nonsense? They want me to be CEO of Marxist.
I heard.
I refused. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
Smart man. They're already trying to pilfer some of my embeds for other teams now.
Well, I got Tinker coming up, so I'll put Tinker as an embed.
Oh, sorry. Before I forget, because I'm going to start saying this at every OBH stream until it sinks in. I don't care who tells you differently. Everybody goes through Chrono. Everybody.
Nobody bypasses Chrono. I don't know who
Joker
tells you.
He gets chronoed. I get chronoed. Everybody. I don't care if they're in a red shirt, green shirt, a straw fucking hat. If they come out and they say you don't need to chrono, you need to chrono.
I don't know who says that somebody doesn't need chrono. You have to chrono. Period.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have spot chronos on us. If you're shooting hot, there might be a problem. So I would advise not trying to adjust your shit or anything else like that. We're not going to tolerate it. It's not cool to the players and everything else. I mean, and everybody goes through registration as well. Again, when you pull on property, your first stop is as soon as you park your car is grab your gun, grab your iPro, grab a magazine, and whatever you need for your gun to go pew pew, you take that inside, you go to registration, get registered, get done, Go outside, the chrono, get done, walk away. All right. Now, if you have multiple guns, we can understand if you're not bringing in all your guns at once. But as soon as you get on property, before you do anything else, you must go through registration. You must sign your waiver. All right. So the waivers are up on the site. So the only thing you have to do is just print them up, and sign them and bring them in. It speeds up the entire process. All the guys will not give you any problems or for hot guns or chrono. Yeah, of course not. Especially since you're sort of admin controlled. Kind of pisses off if you did. But everybody just has to simply go through and do that. We will stress this over and over again. The gates will be locked until 1 o'clock when we come down there and open them up for you guys. So you guys can stack up on that road, be ready so that you guys can do it. You don't have to camp on the AO if you don't want to. You can camp outside in the pre-designated areas like we had last time. You guys are more than welcome to camp out in the parking lot. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a couple of shanty towns out there. Not a problem. So with all that being said, I think that's everything. Do you have anything else you want to add, Virtue?
Yeah, and the words of a wise man, come on out and leave the attitude off the AO.
Yep. Leave your attitude up off the field. All right. With that being said, our very next stream is going to be Sunday, 9 p.m. We're going to talk everything about Bad Blood. That should be an entertaining stream. That one only lasts 1 hour. Moondog's kind of anal about that. Because we're getting close to that event too. The Marxist is almost, I think black shirts are almost sold out. Marxist is getting close to sold out. Green and black shirts are sold out. It's Deuce X.
Black and green are sold out. Deuce X is
almost. It's like 25. Yeah, it's like 20, maybe 20 tickets left for that. It's only $50. It's at EMR Event Park in New Milford, Pennsylvania. Come out there, shoot at both of us. I mean, come join Marxist. I mean, we've won 5 years in a row now.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter who wins. I'm gonna be. So Bad Blood's kind of like Whose Line Is It Anyway of Airsoft. It's just a great time. You get 3 different types of gameplay, 3 days of playing for, what is it, $25?
$50.
$50, which is still...
And a hell of a lot of raffle prizes. I mean, last time there was, 22 airsoft guns that were given away?
It was nuts.
Yeah, it was kind of insane.
But it's a great time. Catch the stream on Sunday to learn more.
Exactly. So check that out.
Get that thing that goes across the screen that says, "Would you like to know more?"
Would you like to know more? I probably could do that. Yeah. But after that, actually, sorry, the very next stream we're going to do is going to be Saturday at 12 noon for Damien's Make-A-Wish reveal. Some of you that can't be down here, we will be streaming live on here and on TikTok. So we can't wait to put that one out there for people to check out and all that. So that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun in itself. So check that out. Saturday at noon and Sunday at 9 p.m. And then our regular time from the barracks, we'll figure out what the hell we're going to talk about then. Probably one of the things we're going to talk about, I don't have it here, is the Hero 9 Black for Airsoft. I'm sort of a fan.
Oh, uh-huh.
Before we leave, what we haven't done all day? We have not shown a video yet. So, like a video of gameplay. So let's just pull up something real quick.
Yeah. Speaking of which, guys, send them in. Seriously, we want to see.
Send us your clips. If you have some badass moments of airsoft, we want to see them. All right. So, I'll turn the volume on. Now, of course, it's going to be a freaking cheater video. So for the Hero 9 Black, it's crisp, it's smooth. The system, it actually works really well for it. But what I like is the zoom effect is actually better than the Hero 7 for the same settings. So it's hyper smooth. And that zoom in, by the way, is about 40 or 60% zoomed in. So you actually can see a lot of detail without the pixelization for the Hero 9. So if you guys are looking for a new GoPro camera, the Hero 9 Black or probably now the Hero 10 Black would work out just fine. I was kind of concerned on how it would hold up, but what we'll do is we'll probably go through a much deeper breakdown of the Hero 9 Black on what to use, what GoPro to use next. Also, if any of you guys have Hero 7 Blacks and need batteries, I'm selling about 9 of them, 8 of them, or some shit like that, because I don't have a Hero 7 Black anymore. My last one's dead. Rip. Rip camera 3. The last one. Are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're sitting like entirely quiet.
No,
and still.
I was going over that footage. Like there's just some moments of are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, we'll talk all about that on Tuesday. It's great.
Oh, also a special treat. Sorry, before I forget, I may have my full outfit ready for Geigerlands by the next Tuesday stream.
Ooh, lovely. I don't, I think I'm still just going to do the Sunshine Band. What I'm probably going to do is get, I want to keep the bright shirts. I really do. It's just something that sticks out and everything. So I don't know what I'm going to wear pant wise yet. But I mean, if you guys see Nikolai anywhere, you're going to see him again at this one. So
Nikolai's a Time Lord. It's official.
It is official. But yeah, we'll talk all about the things. Yesterday was definitely a bad day of airsoft. Only 4 games played or 3 games played. So it's the first day of school. Like today was the last day of school for most schools in Broward and Dade County. So a lot of kids don't go to school on the last day of school. Parents keeping them out because of all the shit that's been going on. We had on Tuesday we had 8 false claims of active shooters near schools. Oh yeah, the alert that came through. Star called me, texted me, and she goes, "Is Ange home because Broward College has an active shooter?" I looked up online and it says false alarm, not an active shooter. It was just people being assholes on the last couple of days of school, which is not cool. But so all the kiddies were out of school, and they definitely showed up. And then the team, well, we have all that stuff to talk about. So if you guys want to hear about how bad of a day yesterday was for airsoft, come join us Tuesday, 7:00. We're going to talk all about that. So check out the asylum, the different factions. Check out the groups for Big House Milsim Community and Geigerlands. Start getting inside your groups. Start checking out the awesome stuff there, guys. Until next time, I'm Joker for Players Wanted. With me is the man with the mohawk, the king of the high kappas, Virtue from.
Well, until the end of the month,
Still Crucible.
Still okay. Crucible.
I'll have to get the name of the other one so I can do a proper ending. Yeah. But until next time, maybe your BBs fly true and your opponents always call your hit.